Before you guys ask, do not worry. Texans videos aren't going anywhere. I simply wanted to bring back NFL videos back. Like, I not only want to talk about the Texans, sometimes I just want to talk about the NFL in general, and I low-key used to do that back then. But then I stopped because, cue the sad music. People weren't showing as much support to those videos as they were to the Texans videos. But, now I'm back with these NFL videos. I'm kind of like, I guess you can call it album mode. Like whenever a rapper just like focuses on just working on an album. Well, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I just want to focus on, the grind. I just feel like grinding again. I feel like putting out more content, more videos. That's why I've been very active on Instagram these past couple of days, which, by the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, be sure to follow me on Instagram, because I promise this time, I swear, I will be more active on Instagram, and my Instagram is at Mr. Mediocre _YT. I also made a TikTok, but I don't think I'm ever going to be posting on that, but, just in case you want to follow me on that too. But, yeah, let's just get into this. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, but I decided to wait after the draft to see what these teams did, and that's about Tom Brady and Phillip Rivers, who, okay, obviously, Tom Brady, he's a future Hall of Famer guaranteed. Now, Phillip Rivers, that one's up for debate. Personally, I love Phillip Rivers. I've always loved Phillip Rivers. I love his I don't give a F mentality, and, he just talks some mess. I love Phillip Rivers. So, personally, I think he's a Hall of Famer, but, everyone has a different opinion on that, so, it's up to you, you decide, but I think they're both future Hall of Famers, and they're both going to be playing on new teams this season, and I kind of wanted to touch on that, like, give my opinion on how I think they're going to do, and then you guys can comment down below how you guys think they're both going to do as well. So, let's get right into it. I'm going to start off with Tom Brady, because I feel like that's the bigger one. I feel like it's overshadowed poor Phillip Rivers, but yeah, Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay. Look, I didn't see this coming, honestly. I thought the dude was going to retire a Patriot, but then, they let him walk, and he went down to Tampa. And I feel like Tom Brady made an excellent decision in going to Tampa Bay. He has a coach that you guys know. I absolutely love Bruce Arians. I think Bruce Arians is an amazing coach. I actually want the Texans to fire Bill O'Brien so they can go get Bruce Arians just this last offseason before Tampa Bay got him. But, Tampa Bay ended up getting him, and Winston had that 30 touchdowns, 30 interception season, which was pretty awesome in my opinion. I just love watching a Bruce Arians coach team. They're so fun to watch. And, Brady going to that team, he had Chris Godwin, he had Mike Evans, he had a pretty good interior offensive line. The tackles needed some help. But then with the first round pick, they drafted an offensive tackle, so now he's getting some more protection. He had O.J. Howard at tight end, Cameron Brate, and then Gronkowski comes out of retirement to go play with Brady in Tampa. So, the offense, that Tampa offense is so loaded, and that Tampa defense is low-key so underrated. Last year, the Buccaneers had one of the top-ranked run defenses last year, and their secondary, a lot of people for some reason seem to believe that they lack corners, but they don't. They have Jamal Dean, and they have Sean Murphy-Bunting, who both, by the end of the season, were two pretty good corners in my opinion. And then with their second-round pick, they drafted Antoine Winfield. So, yeah, their secondary is going to be better next year. They have a safety back there now with Winfield. They have two nice corners in my opinion. And they have that very good run defense. And of course, you add Tom Brady with that loaded offense. Yeah, there is no way that the Buccaneers will be a bad team next year unless, an unforeseen injury to Brady happens. And look, Brady is not the player that he once was, nor we should pretend that he is. the player that he once was. But that offense is so loaded that it doesn't matter. Tom Brady should easily have success on his new team. I mean, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard, Rob Gronkowski, Cameron Brate. And, they're probably not going to keep all three of those tight ends. They're probably going to get rid of Brate because they do want to keep O.J. Howard with Gronkowski together. So, who knows what they do there. Maybe they do keep all three. But this low-key could be the most talented supporting cast Tom Brady has ever had. I mean, you can argue back in, 2007 when they had Randy Moss? Those years, the year they went 16-0. Maybe that year they had a better supporting cast, or he had a better supporting cast. But this Buccaneers offense, this Buccaneers team in general, this is the best supporting cast Brady has had in a very long time. And even if Brady is a little washed at this point in his career, I still think he can do just enough to make the Buccaneers a Super Bowl contender. And honestly, I joked around on Twitter about it. I was hopping on the, Buccaneers bandwagon after we traded DeAndre Hopkins. But low-key, I'm on board. Like, I'm not a Buccaneers fan by any means, but I like what they're doing, and I do think that the Buccaneers have a legitimate shot at a Super Bowl this year. I think that their division, I don't trust Atlanta at all. Carolina, they're in full rebuild mode in my opinion. They just got to get past the Saints, and honestly, I think they can beat the Saints. I think they're better than the Saints. I think Tampa Bay wins the NFC South in 2020, and they might even go to the Super Bowl. I don't see anyone being able to stop the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I am fully on board the Buccaneers hype train. And if you're a Buccaneers fan watching this, then you should be very excited. I'm looking forward to watching some Buccaneers games next season. Now let's move on to the other guy, Phillip Rivers going to Indianapolis. Now, like I said at the start of the video, I absolutely love Phillip Rivers. That's why watching him this past season, watching him play this past season, it really, really hurt me. It really hurt me. Phillip Rivers is done. He is done as an NFL quarterback. He just cannot push the ball downfield anymore. And with the style of quarterback he is, Phillip Rivers has that gunslinger mentality. He's that F it, I'm going deep type of guy. He loves throwing deep jump balls to his big receivers, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. He don't care. He's going to throw it deep. That's who Phillip Rivers is. His arm no longer allows him to go for the deep shots, make all the necessary throws. He has lost arm strength. He has regressed. He is Matt Schaub after the 2012 season. He is Eli Manning after 2016. He is who I believe Big Ben is as well. I think Big Ben is done too. So, all those guys from that, 2004 quarterback draft class, Schaub, Eli, Rivers, Ben, I think they're all done. And look, I understand. Indianapolis has a good offensive line. They drafted Jonathan Taylor, who I absolutely love. I was low-key pissed when the Colts took Jonathan Taylor. They got T.Y. Hilton, decent receiver. They drafted Michael Pittman Jr. out of USC. Personally, I'm not that big a fan of him. But, hey, he's a big guy. He kind of fits with the whole jump ball receivers that Phillip Rivers likes. Thing I was saying earlier, because if you look at the Colts roster, they had T.Y. and, a bunch of other small guys. So they drafted Pittman, a bigger guy. So it kind of made sense going that route in the draft. So I can't be too mad at them for picking Pittman, even though I'm not that big on Pittman. But, like I said, they have a good O-line. They got him Pittman to throw jump balls to. They have a decent defense. I absolutely hate the Colts for trading their first-round pick for DeForest Buckner. On Twitter, the Colts low-key caught a lot of trash talk from a lot of people for trading their first-round pick for DeForest Buckner, but not from me. I absolutely love that move by them. I think DeForest Buckner is an amazing player, really underrated player who can be very disruptive in the middle of a defense. So, Phillip Rivers does have a good supporting cast. He's got a good coach. I think very highly of Frank Wright. Frank Wright might actually be the best head coach in the AFC South, so he also has that going for him. So, Phillip Rivers also has a good supporting cast. Definitely not as good as Tom Brady's supporting cast, but still a pretty good one. And in fact, I think if Phillip Rivers would have went to Indianapolis like 2-3 years before now, I think the Colts could have been very dangerous. Of course, the Colts at that time had Andrew Luck, but just kind of just speaking in a vacuum, I guess. Yeah, I feel like the Colts would have been dangerous with Phillip Rivers from a couple years ago. But this Phillip Rivers, no. I don't think the Colts got much better at the quarterback position. I actually think they got worse. Because if you recall, last year, the only reason the Colts were able to win games was because Brissett wasn't turning the ball over. He was playing very, very cautious. So the Colts were able to get 7 wins because of that. Now you swap that out with a quarterback who is the complete opposite of Jacoby Brissett, a guy who's just a gunslinger, a guy who's just going to sling it around. He doesn't care. He's going to throw 2 interceptions like every other game, and then sometimes he's going to have a game with 3 interceptions. He might fumble a ball here. Rivers doesn't care. And I don't think Phillip Rivers has the adequate receivers to fit with his play style that throw it up to your big receiver and hope he comes down with it. He only has Michael Pittman Jr. and he's a rookie. It'd be extremely unrealistic to expect this guy to do the stuff that Keenan Allen does, to do the stuff that Mike Williams was doing over there with the Chargers. So, yeah. And then you look at the AFC South. You have the Texans there with Deshaun Watson. The Texans got better this year despite trading DeAndre Hopkins. You got the Tennessee Titans who reached the AFC Championship game this last season. So, Phillip Rivers has more competition in his division than Tom Brady does over there in the NFC South. So, I really don't think Rivers will do good with the Colts. I see the Colts having another 7-9 season. Yes, the Colts got better, but they didn't get better at the quarterback position. I actually think they got worse. And you guys know how I feel about Jacoby Brissett. I don't think Jacoby Brissett is very good at all either. But at least Jacoby Brissett can be a game manager. He can be safe. He can keep the ball safe. Phillip Rivers, he's a gunslinger. He's going to throw it around. He's going to turn the ball over, and the Colts will lose games because of it. But I still see the Colts, like I said, a 7-8 win team. Probably 3rd place in the AFC South behind Houston and Tennessee. So, yeah. And, one, it hurts me to say that about Rivers because I like him. And then 2, it hurt me to see Phillip Rivers go to Indianapolis. But unlike Brady, I don't see Rivers having success in his new team. And, yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys for today. Comment down below your opinion on Brady on the Bucks and Phillip Rivers on the Colts. And yeah, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.